Hi, this is Sarah, the Stitchin Mommy, and it's Tuesday, March 26th, 2024, here for my weekly cross-stitching update. I'm a day late because I have a cold. Yesterday was worse than today. Sunday was worse than that day. So I am getting better. Hopefully I can make it through this, and I might have to break to go pick up my daughter in the meantime too. So we'll just do what I can, and there might be little clips here and there. So yeah, just gonna talk about what I stitched on this week. Overall, it was a pretty good week for cross-stitching. The next 2 weeks, I don't know. It's gonna be really crazy this week and next week. I won't be able to film next week, so I'm gonna go ahead at the end and share my plans for this week and next week, so you can kind of know what I'm gonna be working on. But yeah, hopefully I'll be able to get some stuff done and have fun with that, and it won't be too crazy. So let's see, I guess I could share this first. I got some Stitchy Kindness passed along from my friend Desiree, and she has this too, so I don't know, maybe next year? I don't know, we'll have to talk and see when she might want to start this. But this is Flower Teapots by Soda Stitch. Isn't that pretty? There's all three. And I don't know, like, I could just do one as well. They're all really pretty, but yeah, I think that's my favorite. Because blue and pink together are my favorite combo. Oh, they have different organizations, sideways. This is just one in a cushion. So anyways, that's really fun. So thank you, Desiree. That was really sweet. So I might be talking to her tomorrow, so we'll have to talk and see if she has any plans to start that one. And I think that's everything. I have my travel stitching, like I like to start with. Temperature Turtles is what I'm working on right now. I did not get any more little, appendages stitched, which I was hoping to this week, because I had extra stuff. Let's see. Yeah, I had extra. I was trying to finish up my project from Saturday on Sunday, plus work on my Sunday project, and I took a nap because I was not feeling good. So I just did my patches, and that's okay. So this is where this is at. 28 count Caribbean blue, Witchelt, Jobelin, I believe, 1/1 full cross. And so I finished out I'm working on the inside patches, which are a lot bigger. So ideally, in a perfect world, I get the little appendages done while I'm working on the small patches around the outside of the shell. But that doesn't always work out that way, the way life is. But this is really pretty fabric. And my stitches are messy on this because it's hand dyed, so it's shrunk. So it's probably smaller than 28 count. So they're really tight in there, but it's such pretty fabric. So I'm not mad at it too much. I don't know that I'd do anything else on 28 count on this fabric, but it's really pretty. I mean, 1/1. Overall, I'm enjoying that one. My main travel stitching, I didn't do as much as I would have wanted. This whole month, and even the band director at the junior high was saying March Madness is appropriate for what the advanced band has been doing this month. They have had so many performances and practices and all the things this month. And there's been a lot of track meets for my older son, and my daughter had a variety show. So there's been all sorts of things. So because of all those things, pickups have been random, not necessarily at the regular school let out times, which means I won't have as much time to sit and wait, because when I get there at the time school gets out, I like to be strategic in where I park so I can do multiple kid pickups at the same time, which means I need to get there early, which means I have time to stitch. So if they have an after school practice, then I just show up right at the end and I only have 5 to 10 minutes that I can stitch. So that's the way it is though. So this is Cats and Hearts March, which is the one I'm working on right now. because I'm going to be, I won't be back for a week into April. I'll go ahead and show you April. I don't know if I'll get a start on it or not, but this is the April one. It's got some tulips in there, which is fun. So may or may not get that one started before I see you again. I really like that these have very different color schemes each month, so then you don't get tired of it. And the kitties are always in a different position, so it's been nice so far. Here is where I'm at now. This is 25 count white even weave, 1/1 full cross. And I'm loving the coverage on this one. It's regular, not hand dyed, and it's 25, so everything lays real nicely. It's easy to work on. And so I finished the green I was working on before, which I believe is probably the most used color. And then I did 2 shades of purple. I have the next darkest green on my needle right now that I'm about to start. I did one more length in the kitty cat too, I believe, since I saw you last. So that's where that one's at. So we'll see where I get to on that one in the next 2 weeks, if I can finish it and move on to April or start April late. We'll have to wait and see. I did a little bit on my Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery Stitch Along. This is what this one looks like. It's the Castle Homecoming Club. And last time I finished the border, so now I'm starting in on the bits and bobs in the background up in the top. Because I like to work from the top down, which the way I hold my fabric. They released these clues first, but as soon as the higher ones were released, I did those. I moved up. I was behind anyways. I moved up and did them so I can do the rest of this from the top down. So that's the thinking there, in case you're new. And here is this one. This is 28 count light blue Lugana, 1/1, full cross with a fancy floss conversion that's similar to what's called for. And I wanted to start on the castle. It seemed more fun than the clouds and the magic pink bits, kind of like these bits. They're going to be some swirls up here. So I started on I already had the pink flags in this part of this one banner. So I'm like, oh, I'll do the roof. That's the next highest part of the castle, right? Well, there was also these colors were in the jousting scene. They're in the queen's outfit. So I did more down here than I did in the castle. But then I also did these flagpoles and the door. So next time I'll get some bricks started in the castle. So that'll be fun. That's a cute one to work on. I only have about an hour once a week on that one, so I'm chipping away at it. Okay, I did not do anything on my Shine Bright sampler, but possibly tomorrow. I like to work on that when I talk with Desiree. So assuming we visit tomorrow, I'll probably work on that tomorrow. So I think that's all of like random bits and bobs. Oh yeah, I have been working on my model stitch for the third Herschel and Lucy design. I'm almost halfway. There's a lot of stitching in especially the bottom half now. So I'm going into the halfway point on the chart, but there's a lot down there. So but once I get started on it, it actually works up pretty quickly because it's 2/2 the way I'm stitching most of it. So it's a big space, but it's filling in quickly, which with my brain, like a lot of what I do is 1/1. So have this mental picture of this space is going to take forever to fill in. But when you do it 2/2, it goes 4 times as fast. So that's good. I worked on it a tiny bit on last Monday, and then yesterday I also decided to work on it during the day instead of filming because I'm like, well, I'm not up to filming. I don't think I could make it through without sniffling and whatnot, but I could model stitch. And since it's for my shop, I can justify it as working. I don't usually like to stitch in the morning. It feels like I should be working or doing jobs around the house, you know, in the morning. So, but if it's for Etsy, then it's okay, right? So I did a good amount on it yesterday, which was nice. And I took it along to family dinner as well. And so I'm planning next week, I think I'm going to give it my focus slot for my Wednesday, Thursday slot and give it all my regular stitching time on Wednesday, Thursday. I would love to get it done as soon as possible because I want to release it. And Carolyn over at Seasick Stitch is doing a stitch along with the Herschel and Lucy designs in April. I can't remember what point in April, but I want to get this one out. So hopefully I can get it done. So I'm going to give it my main stitching days next week on Wednesday, Thursday. So hopefully I can show that to you soon. All right, my regular stitching this past week, I worked on Bear Time Stories for 2 days. This is by Randall Spangler. I'm doing this for my middle son. Ideally, get this done before he graduates from high school. All right, I have a lot here. So I gotta find this one. This is the smallest one. Here it is. It's hiding underneath everything. It's probably not actually the smallest by stitch count, but by fabric size, it's the smallest because it's 40 count. So this is 40 count Vertil 1/1 half cross. This is the whole design. And I got total 399 stitches. So just shy of 400. Not ideal. I think I was kind of busy. Well, there was an open house at the high school one of those days. I'm now at 20.64% and I finished 3 colors. So I am stitching this extreme cross country and currently I'm stitching the colors with the least amount of stitches. And most of the ones with a really small amount have already been stitched. So the 3 stitches, the 3 colors I stitched this time were over 100 stitches each. So that was nice. I think there were some blues and green. I think there was a green. 2 blues and a green, I think. So yeah, it's pretty good. I'm having fun. Hopefully you saw a difference. When it's only 400 stitches, it's unknown. But like these blues in the pillow, you know, got filled out a little bit more. The dragons got filled out a little bit more. So every little bit helps. And then I had a new start over for Carolyn's birthday over at Seasick Stitch. She wanted to start Floral Alphabet by JBW Designs. And she was talking about changing the colors to be not monochromatic, to do like different things, different colors. I'm like, ooh, I like that idea. And so I kind of played in my stash and I found 3 silks that I thought were pretty together. I mean, you did this one for the letters, this one for the flowers, and this one for the vines and leaves. And I chose Demoiselle Lugana, I believe, and this is 28 count, and I'm doing it 2/2 actually. So here is the pretty fabric and my start. Got the ABC completely done, and I did work on this a tiny bit on a 3rd day on Friday just so I could finish out this much. And this is actually the halfway point is right here. So it's not a huge design, which is fun. So I think that's fun. And I like the play of color on the fabric because it kind of brings out all those colors. So yeah, that was fun. I don't know how far she has gotten, so I'll have to wait and see. And I know Dawn Frosty X Stitch started this as well, and she's doing it monochromatically with a variegated floss, so that's fun. It would probably be a lot easier to stitch it with one floss, because there are times when it's hard to decide, well, should this be a leaf? Should this be a flower? Should this be a letter section? And I'm sure if you gave the same pattern to 10 people to have them decide where to break it up and which color to do where, you'd get 10 different examples of how to do it. So there's no right or wrong way to change it. So if you are doing this pattern, you're like, oh, I didn't do that part the same way. It's fine. Everybody can interpret it a different way. It's a pretty pattern though, so hopefully I can bring that out again probably next year to do some more on it. Then I pulled out a Whipco piece for Garden Prelude. This is on my non-full coverage Whipco board, and I had fun working on this one. This one, I couldn't remember the name of the fabric last time, but this is Wedgwood Lugana 32 count by Color and Cotton. And here is, wow, it's gonna fill up. I don't know how I'm gonna get my before on there. Maybe I'll just fold it over and do before and after of just her. There we go. So last time I had her hair finished, the last time I worked on this. So this time I was working on dress. I'm doing this 2/2 on 32 count. And I also thought it'd be fun. I did a good amount of dress. Like this part right here is all completed. Then there's some stragglers where I had thread on my needle. But I thought it'd be fun to try some of the flowers to see how they look. So I did several, a little bit of each color of green and a little bit of each of the flowers. And I am choosing some fancy flosses for my stash that are similar to the called for Karen water lilies. So I'm like, I don't need to buy those. They're just flowers. So I'm really happy with those, and I think it's going to be great. So in the future, if I had a longer chunk to work on this, like here's a pillar, I could do like all of the flowers in this little section, you know, and then there's another section of flowers. And obviously her dress is ginormous. This will take me decades to finish, but it's really pretty. It's fun every time I pull it out. So I love this fabric too. This Color and Cotton Lugana, it's really nice to work on. So love that. Highly recommend her fabrics. It's not puffy like some hand-dyed fabrics can be. It's very nice. This is an example of a very Frankenstein tube. A lot of tubes I have are like the insides of wrapping paper where I put a post-it note on the bottom. This one is literally 2 pieces of cardstock. Like I'd cut up strips of cardstock and taped them together here, put a post-it note on the bottom. Nothing fancy. And some of them like are in the tubes they come in at a craft store. So got all sorts of things here. Sunday, I worked on my Celtic Ladies collage, and I'm gonna hopefully work on this one more time in March. And this is the spring quadrant I'm working on. I'm hoping to pull it out for 4 different months of Sundays for the different seasons. And I'm actually really happy with what I got done this Sunday. Some Sundays it's like, whew, I was busy, didn't get a whole lot accomplished. But here is this one. All right, there we go. So here is spring. Hey, there's some neighbor dogs barking if you can hear that, sorry. I got 369 stitches in on this, which completed 3 colors. So I finished her hair and the 2 colors I did in her hair, and I finished those. There's a little bit down here. Then I finished this purple. So I finished the border, started in on her, wherever it was in her dress, and then the medallion areas. And then I came in and started up on a second color of green, which is actually very close to the first color of green, but I'm wondering if there was maybe a dye lot issue from what it was when it was charted. It's fine. I'm not worried about it. Both colors are in here too, and it's like, they're slightly different, but they're very similar. So I think from here on out, I will be color completing throughout the whole quadrant, because I kind of have some structure to work with. There'll be some green out here in her bouquet, so then I'll count carefully to that, and then I'll have structure for everything that I could be playing with. Another main color in these medallions is the Petite Treasure braid, like on the, yeah, you can see that sparkle there that was around the letters. So I may get that out next time too, because that will be, if I finish that second green, get some sparkle in there, that would be fun. I think I'm gonna have to pause here and go get my daughter, and then I will be back to share everything else that I am gonna, mainly plans, but I did whatever I worked on yesterday as well. So I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. So this week, my family piece is Lollipop for my daughter. So I worked on it yesterday already a little bit, and oh, no wonder I can't find it sometimes. It's misalphabetized. This is by Stitchin Crafts, and it's pretty cute. I like the colors. I hadn't really, oh fun. Okay, so I got into some purples, and so it must be like here on the edge of the cloud, which is cool. Farther in than I thought. Yay! So I worked on this yesterday. I'm hoping to get more time today, but it is a Bible study day, so probably not as much as I got yesterday. I got a nice amount done yesterday. This is also 40 count, 1/1, half cross, 40 count burtle, and I got 605 stitches yesterday, half stitches. So that's really fun. And a lot of it was in, there was a dark blue, lots of places, but also I'm starting in on these purples, which is really fun. So that's great. So I'm hoping I'll probably fill in, I have some purple on my needle, and then there's symbols in there that I'm pulling from. And there's still 2 or 3 colors in there. So I will hopefully get those short strands of those, because on 40 count, 1/1, it goes real fast. Lots of stitches in with one strand. So I usually have like a 12-inch string, unless I know there's like a lot in that symbol, because otherwise I'm working that color all over the place, and I don't necessarily want to go that far. So this is fun. I'm really happy with that progress yesterday. So that'll get one more day this week, and then I will go back to Dragon Ride for a couple days. Wednesday and Thursday evening are going to be, both are going to be kind of crazy, so I'm hoping I can get some time on this. And I'm working on the back stitching now. This is Dragon Ride by Teresa Wentzler, and I'll give it 2 days of work. We'll see how much I get on those days. So here is where it's at now. This is 28 count MCG Textiles linen in light blue, not linen, even weave. Mostly 2/2 full cross. I feel like I'm still, I will probably try, when I asked last week about backstitching suggestions for this 1/1 man, I don't think I was very clear. All the backstitching is going to be 1 strand. All of this backstitching is already 1 strand, so I'm definitely doing 1 strand. I was just wondering if I should do over 1 or over 2 fabric threads. There's a few places where I will have to do over 1 because of the way it's angled, but a lot of it is big following the over 2 sections. So it's, I don't know. I think I'll just hold off on the man for now and do all the other stuff, because right now I just need something simple which for my brain, and all the other backstitching is a lot more straightforward. So what I'm thinking I might do is do a 1/2 backstitching, and if I don't like how it looks, I can take it out, because if I start with 1/1 backstitching, it's not likely to come out clean, because it's going to be in there real tight and real small, and I probably won't be able to change it if it's too tedious. So I'll try 1/2, and if it looks silly with longer lengths, then I'll take it out and do it the other way. So we'll see. Okay, let's flip over to my plan page. Let's see, the rest of this week. I also have my last WIPGO call for March is Butterfly Cat, is what I call it. It's just butterfly, but it's clearly a butterfly cat. So this is by Heaven and Earth Designs. It's charted with no background. And I am working in the ear, I believe, still. The wing is pretty high up there. So at some point, if I'm doing like a strict, you know, top to bottom, left to right kind of symbol choosing, I'll get into that wing, but it's so far away that I feel like I need to go down and come around just to make sure I'm counting correctly. So I will have to see here how much of that ear I actually have done to see what's likely to get accomplished. I'm also going to work on another project at the same time as this one. So I may not see a whole lot of progress on this, but it's fine. We'll see how much I can get done. So this is on 28 count Nessie cashel linen 1/1 full cross. This is another one where it is kind of squishy because it's a hand-dyed fabric. And but that's the cat's ear. I have some of that dark color on my needle. So let's see. This is, I think, oh, okay. Yeah, it's kind of hard when I was showing you, it's like flip-flopped in the camera. I think this is, yeah, we'll see. We'll see which wing is higher, but I'm pretty sure at this point I'll probably just stay in the ear. But I'll have to take a look and see which wing is going to be higher and how I can get there safely. I might start plotting my path, work my way towards that end. Have to wait and see. There's a lot of scattered stitches because it is a full coverage. So it's just charted with no background, so I'm making the background pretty. And I thought this color suited nicely to the stem in the flower, so I think that'll be pretty. I'm also gonna start something new on Friday, so that's why I'm kind of doing both Butterfly Cat and this other one. So I don't know how I'm gonna split it up, if I'll have time to do much of anything on either one, but I really want to get this started. So I'm gonna start He Is Risen by Donna Gelsinger on Good Friday. So, and I'll probably try to get a tiny bit done on Good Friday and Easter Sunday, maybe also on Saturday. We'll have to wait and see. Maybe I'll give Saturday exclusively to Butterfly Cat just to give it some attention, and give this a little bit on the 2 official holidays. So we'll see. But this is a full-size version. I was tempted with their recent sale to get the mini because I'm more likely to finish it in my lifetime. But I don't really need to finish it, and I already have this one, and it's something that I can enjoy having an Easter piece to work on every Easter. So I have this fabric, 28 count, probably Monaco. It's a Hobby Lobby sticker, but there's no like official tag on it, but it looks like a blue Monaco or even weave of some kind, and it's like the perfect size for the full size. And I've had it kind of kitted loosely for He Is Risen. The background will be similar in shade, but I'm not too worried about it. I'm still kind of tossing back and forth if I want to do half stitches or full crosses because it's got the words, and part of me thinks I might, but I don't want to do all the background in full crosses because then it'll take forever. Part of me is wondering if I should do the words in full crosses and the background in half crosses. And if I do that, do I also want to do the cross in full cross? You know, do all the foreground, do the words, the cross, and even because if I do all of this bush, I'd probably also need to do all of this in full cross. But it would make all of that be crisp and fully pixelated. You know, each would be a full square, and then do all the sky in half cross. Maybe, I think I might do that because then it will help the background go a lot faster, but then all those main bits would be in more of a crisp way. So I might do that, and it'll be my own form of like a dimensions situation. So that's the plan for that one. Probably only background this first little bit, but so I don't really need to think about it yet, but I think I like that idea. I'm gonna try that. Then we head over into April, and I won't be back until the 8th. So the first week of April, I need to tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to choose my family piece for that first Monday, Tuesday will be Visit Endor. So I'll pull this one out again by Country Magic Stitch and see how much I can do on this. So here is where I'm at now. This is 28 count, light blue even weave. I think it's Dove Gray Monaco. Just kidding. It's Dove Gray, not light blue. It looks light blue though. Yeah, so that's where I'm at now. And so that'll get 2 days. I'm gonna give my model stitch 2 days. And then I will work on Friends of the Library, which is one of my Whip Go draws for April. So that's fun. Jessie Marie called the Whip Go numbers yesterday. And so this is Friends of the Library. This is one of my full coverage Whip Go pieces. This was originally a Bucilla needlepoint kit, and I didn't like the loosey-goosey nature of the pattern and the printed canvas and trying to match up the two. So I went ahead and figured out how to get that pattern in Pattern Keeper. The way a needlepoint patterns in those kits, sometimes they're just blobs of color. This one was more like stair-steppy blobs. So you could kind of count and see most places how many like stitches it should be. So it's not a grid. So it was very tricky to kind of figure out where everything would go, but I think I figured it out pretty well. So now it's in Pattern Keeper. I'm doing it on 18 count because there is a little bit of backstitching in here, and it's not that big of a project, but it is smaller than it would have been on the canvas, which was probably 10 count maybe. So here is this one, 18 count antique white, Ada, 2/1, full cross. I believe that's the full width of the design. So I'm doing my typewriter method, choosing symbols and working them wherever they go. And this is really fun. So I'm excited to work on this for a couple days at the end on the 5th and 6th. What else do I have here? Oh, that one. Okay. And then on Sunday, I get to start my new rotation on Spring Montage. So this coming Sunday, I'll work on Celtic Ladies. But next Sunday, on the 7th, I'll start working on Spring Montage. And this, I believe, will get 2 months of Sundays for Seasonal Sunday. And I'm up here in the Cherry Blossom branch. These are by Pain Free Crafts, artwork by Janet Stever. And this is my starting point on this one. Still have some thread on my needle. That's unusual when I know I'm putting something away for a while, but this is 28 count Mushroom Lugana, 1/1, full cross. That's where I'm starting at. So that'll be fun to get that out. Get some more progress over the course of 8 Sundays. So I think that's everything I have in my plans. So hopefully you guys enjoy the rest of your March. Oh, it does sound like there is a hashtag or a group of people starting He Has Risen by Donna Gelsinger around Easter time. So I think there's a He Has Risen SAL hashtag if you want to tag that on Instagram. Stephanie over the On Point Stitcher is starting that, and a couple other ladies, she told me, we're starting it too. So yeah, feel free to join us if you have either the original or the mini. It'll be fun, and I'll be working on it for the rest of my life, so you can start at any time. But it'll be nice to have a full coverage Easter on the go. I have Nativity by Donna Gelsinger already started, so that's a fun one. I can have that at Christmas if I want to work on full coverage at Christmas. So now I have both major holidays covered. So Oh yeah, I might as well share, I have a couple minutes, my other WIPGO calls for, I didn't bring them to show you, but I can tell you, for April are going to be, my other full coverage one is Delightful Waltz by Leonid Afremov, which is going to be fun to work on that again. And then the two non-full coverage WIPs are Gracious Era, which is a Dimensions kit, and Lady of the Flag by Mirabilia. So that'll be fun to work on those this month. And I also am planning to start Azure Ornament, which I showed at the beginning of the year when I showed all of the things I'd like to start. So that'll probably not get started until the 29th, the last couple days in April. And I'm excited about that one. That one's going to be on Congress cloth, so a little stiffer, and it's got a lot of long stitches and kaleidoscope looking stuff. So that'll be kind of fun to play with. So yeah. Other than that, I hope you have a wonderful week and enjoy whatever you're working on, and happy stitching. Bye.